British court grants Nnamdi Kanu's family permission to challenge UK government for not defending the indigenous people of Biafra leader against Buhari regime. The British, one thing about this thing is the Britain are not like the Nigerians. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my people and good people. Welcome to Emizari News. Now with the people where they go all over the world to they bring you all the news that are happening all over the world. So listen to what is just happening now. The British court grants Nnamdi Kanu's family permission to challenge UK government for not defending IPOB leader against Buhari regime. Or listen to the news proper. The family of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been granted an order by the UK court to challenge the British government for their non-intervention in his ongoing case against the Nigerian government. Nnamdi Kanu, a famous separatist movement outlawed in Nigeria, was apprehended in Kenya in June before being taken against his will to Nigeria, where he has been held in detention since. The UN Working Group on an Arbitrary Detention issued a statement in July stating that the father of two had been subjected to extraordinary rendition and that he should be released immediately. However, before becoming Prime Minister, two UK Foreign Secretaries, first Dominic Raab and then Liz Truss, declined to comment on whether Kanu was a victim of extraordinary rendition. The family has been granted a court review to appeal that refusal, claiming that it has resulted in no action being taken to assist him, the Guardian UK reports. The British government is well known for its stance on human rights. I believe it must be decisive when it comes to its decision making about very serious violations of the human rights of British citizens abroad, especially when the facts are clear, as they are in my brother's case, and when the UN has investigated and reached a firm conclusion that my brother was subject to extraordinary rendition. I am very happy that the court has agreed that a hearing is necessary to decide this important issue, his brother Kingsley Kanu said. According to Kanu's family, he was tortured in Kenya before being renditioned to Nigeria by Muhammadu Buhari's regime. Kanu is currently being held in a solitary confinement by the Secret Police Department of the State Service (TSS) in Abuja. The matter was forwarded to the Special Report on Torture by the UN Working Group. The Nelson Mandela Rules, which are international non-binding standards, forbid solitary confinement for longer than 15 consecutive days. It also voiced worry that he had been denied medical attentions and medication for his heart condition. The Nigerian government denied mistreating or torturing Nnamdi Kanu in a court document related to a separate complaint that he had filed in Abuja. He stated that because he had previously joined bail in Nigeria, he entered Kenya illegally and was therefore not entitled to an extraordinary hearing. In 2015, after establishing a digital radio station called Radio Biafra at his home in London, Kanu was detained in Nigeria and accused of inciting terrorism and terrorism-related offenses. After an attack on his family home 2 years later, in which he said 28 members of IPOB were slain, he departed the country while out on bail. He entered a not guilty plea to the allegation of terrorism in January. Sherry Mecca from Pidamas LLP, who is representing Kingsley Kanu, said it was essential for the new Foreign Secretary James Cleverly to reach a firm conclusion on whether her client's brother had been the victim of extraordinary rendition in order to decide what steps to take to assist him. The evidence available to date establishes that he has been subject to extraordinary rendition and torture of inhuman treatment, she said It is unacceptable for the UK government to continue to prevaricate on this issue. We are glad that the court has now granted permission for this case to move to a final hearing. Ms. Justice Elegbongen explained her decision to grant a judicial review hearing, saying such decisions, inactions are, in theory, reviewable and do not enter forbidden realms, especially those affecting foreign policies. While the procedures were ongoing, the Foreign Office declined to comment. My people, now so we see am today for Emissary News. Now we dey bring you the latest news. As it stands now, the UK court has granted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family, to be able to plead with their case. Of course, that is one thing about foreign countries, especially UK, America, and all these Western countries, where one is given a fair hearing. But the issue of Nigeria is different. The kind of government that is being run in this nation called Nigeria is very autocratic. It is a country where the leader will speak and will not allow the populace to even speak. They speak and stand on their word without knowing what happens to the populace, without even giving ear to the populace. And it is very unfair. That is not how things are done. Everybody should be given a fair hearing. As it stands now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu MNK, who is Omahid Dikendigbo, is currently in the DSS custody. He has not been given a fair hearing. He has also not been allowed to take his medications. And the other time, his lawyers were pleading, let them provide the money for the DSS so that the DSS will be able to provide the medication for their client. But the DSS declined. Okay, they now said, okay, if you help us free our client, let's take care of him so that he will be able to go to the hospital and get the proper medication. But that has not been given yet to. Then the last time, the DSS tried buying some drugs. The drugs that is supposed to be about 5 bottles, DSS bought only 2 bottles. And you know the calamity of incomplete medication. That is what is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is currently passing through now in the DSS detention. Now, see what happened in Britain, in UK, where these people has been given a fair hearing so that their case can be reviewed again and be looked into. That is how a government should be. That is what should be a government. It is democracy. They say that democracy is the government of the people by the people. That is what democracy is all about. And the people, yes, the people sent the representatives to represent them in the executive echelon, in the judiciary echelon, in the legislative echelon. Now, these people that voted for you to represent them, you will now turn your back and start treating them like animals. That is very bad. This is what happens in most of the African countries, where people are being taken for granted. People, the people in the seat of government take their followers for granted. They don't want to know how they feel. They don't want to know what is going on. They don't want to know what they are passing through. All they just do is that one that is in their mind. It is very unfair, my people. It is very unfair. Every citizen of a nation should be given a fair hearing. The court is supposed to be the final hope of the common man. But as it stands in the issue of Nigeria, my brother, the court is not the hope of the common man. Neither the court is the hope of the rich man. Because the rich man with all his money buys the court, buy the lawyer, buy the judge. And the judge will stand by him. And you cannot question them because they have turned out to be gods in the form of men. Gods who their questions, their authority are not being questioned. Are we still in the state of anarchy or in the state of nepotism? Why are things going haywire in Nigeria? Things are not really going well. My people, remember that you are still on Emissary News, Emissary TV. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. My brother, Biko, please hit that subscription button. Hit that subscription button. Hit that subscription button. Catch you phone. Kemesiano.